Hi, my name is Giovanni, and this is my vertical slice of my Echoes in the Dark point and click room project. So, progress since the very first playable. In summary, we've implemented interactable objects and including collectibles that disappear and appear in the inventory. We've also added an inventory system in which the collected items now update in both the UI and then appear in the player's inventory. Puzzle logic. Players follow a note to then collect a case file, interact with the answering machine, then use the camera to get the code that then unlocks the safe. Updated the UI, the hovering over objects now displays their names and interactions trigger objective updates. Room revisions, major lighting change to the nighttime aesthetic, plus new props like a typewriter and reposition the camera and a note. Okay, so here we have a demo of my Echoes in the Dark room project, and I've made some changes such as the lighting and changed some of the meshes of the objects as well as also some of the placements as well, like the camera and the notes. Also changed the player model. And so the way the puzzle logic goes is the player sees a note right here, they interact with the notes. The note then says to check the case file and the answering machine. So, as you can see, there's a whole bunch of cave boxes over here and a lot of files over here. But if the player comes walking over here and they see one specific box with a file inside of it, it says right here, there's a case file. You can pick that up, the file that contains a list of names and addresses, and that file is then added into our inventory, so that updates and it shows the image of it. Now, next is the answering machine. If we come over here, we see the answering machine right here on the desk. If I hover over it, it tells me it's an answering machine. Now, if I click on it, then it starts a dialogue interaction. So, the answering machine, you have one saved message. So, if I click, it will then take me to the next dialogue, in which the next dialogue is from an unknown caller. It's a voicemail from an unknown caller. Say, hey Jack, it's me. I was thinking about what you mentioned, keeping track of details. You know that camera you used to use a lot? It might be good to check it. Just in case, don't lose any of those small clues. Call me when you can. I'll talk to you later. So that's the end of the dialogue. The objective has then updated to check the camera, and basically that helps the player um, to then go check the camera. So if we walk over here, we see the camera over here on the shelf. Pick up the camera. Then that camera is then added to the inventory. It says the camera was filled with pictures and a passcode. Now, if the player had interacted with the safe first, it would have told the player that they needed a passcode for it. But since we have already got the camera, now when I click on the safe, and then objective updates says, congrats, you found your next big lead. It also adds a journal, which is the detective's journal. So if we click on the safe again, it said, yeah, inside was the detective's journal and with his final notes. Now, room and level design. So right here, I took a screenshot of the room, and basically the layout is super simple. The first item is right next to the player, so it should hopefully be the first one that they interact with, and then each clue is just a little further along. It leads them naturally to the next step, and by the end of it, it should feel natural and just keeps player on track through the puzzle. And so here we have as I demonstrated, the first clue, second clue, third one, fourth one, and then the final, the safe being the final thing. Interactions in the inventory display. As you can see here, there's a screenshot of interactions. So hovering over the note shows up in the UI note, and then also with clicking on the note gives me an interaction text, and the note says to check the case file and the answering machine. And I have only 5 interactables in this project, so it's the note, the case file, the answering machine, the camera, and the safe. Also, you can see here in the inventory that the case file and camera have already been added to it. puzzle and state change. So for the puzzle, the player will explore and examine a note in which points them towards a case file and then the answering machine. After collecting the case file, they listen to the answering machine, which triggers a dialogue, which strongly nudges them towards the camera. So once they check the camera, they discover it's something that they can collect, and it also holds a passcode for the safe. And after retrieving it, they can then use it to unlock the safe. Then, once the safe opens, the objective then updates, in which, congrats, you found your next big lead, and then it adds in the inventory a journal, being the detective's journal with his final notes. Now, however, if the player then tries to open the safe without the passcode, they will see a message basically saying that the safe is locked and it needs a passcode. For the dialogue and narrative, here I use the answering machine as the dialogue interaction, and it's a voicemail on the answering machine. It basically is gives the player a subtle hint from an unknown caller. It nudges them towards the camera. It doesn't give it away, but it basically strongly tells them, hey, go check out this camera. And it holds very much an important thing, and it should be the next thing that they should investigate. Milestone reflection. I really enjoyed the creative journey on this project. I had a lot of fun making adjustments on my own, like doing the lighting and adding some unique objects that weren't in the project initially, and it made my project feel more in theme of what I was going for. The coding, though, was probably what stressed me out the most, especially the inventory system. That one was really hard, really tough, but I got a lot of help with the help of the video lessons and some feedback. I am happy with how far I've come with the project, and I am excited to just keep on growing my portfolio.